Nearly every visit I had, I would get a strip search. I've seen some guys with use the biro ink.
Inside the prison van, is it familiar to you? Have you been?
Very. It's high risk. So somebody what poses a potential threat.
Do you know what this is?
I'm laughing because memories, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna get attacked. My name is Wessley Blades. I'm an ex-life sentence prisoner. Today, I'm gonna be going over and reviewing a few TikTok videos. I'm gonna be discussing what's realistic and what's not.
Deep Extra.
So that's the inside the prison van. Is it familiar to you? Have you been?
Very. Yeah, very.
Have you been in a few of those in your time?
Yeah.
In the comments in there, people are saying that it's like boiling hot. Is that something you remember?
Nah, it kind of varies again, depending on what sweatbox, which one you go on.
Sweatbox?
That's what we used to call them, sweatboxes, yeah.
Will different categories of prisoner travel in different vans, or is it just one generic one that they have?
It's more or less one generic one. It depends on the risk of the prisoner. I know some people they've been very high risk. They'll have a go on the van and a sweatbox on their own, down to the discretion of the jail, and also because it costs money, doesn't it? A lot of these firms are like private companies as well.
And if you were going in one of those vans with like other people sitting with you, what's the chat like?
It depends. When I was a kid, I was in prison when I was 16 and 17 as well. You're more boisterous at that kind of age. So I've met some people on a sweatbox as a juvenile. Never even seen them. Then when you've got off the bus and you're actually going through the process and going through the induction process, I've met kind of people what I've got on with from that. As an adult, when I got my life sentence, totally different, because I'd been in the system before and knew how it kind of worked. I didn't like no noise on there. If I used to hear somebody shouting or being loud, I'd just tell them to be quiet, have a bit of manners, have a bit of respect, and just chill out, kind of thing, kind of pipe down. Sometimes you being one of them sweatboxes there for I remember traveling one of them for like 4.5, 5 hours. Your knees are touching the end, and you have to mount this up right. I could just fall asleep in them. So that was my thing. I just have a coat on, get my head down.
Right.
So you're cuffed. You go up the stairs, 4 doors there on one side, 4 or 5 doors there on the other side, and they're all individual. You'll get escorted in there by the officer one by one. The door's already open. As soon as you go through, it'll just ask you to put your arms out, like that. Take the cuffs off you, shut the door, lock you in. But the staff as well I've never had any issues, any problems, anything like that.
So this one's tattoos being done in prison.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of that went on, sort of homemade tattoos?
I wouldn't say there's a lot of it what goes on, but that is true that them things do happen. I wouldn't trust it personally myself though. Just down to like health reasons and
Hygiene.
Yeah, hygiene, and I've seen some guys with use the biro ink. They used to use like tape cassettes for like a spinning kind of wheel, like.
Oh right. Oh, it's a spinning wheel.
Yeah, and I don't know, I can't tell you the full process. I'm just vividly remembering little things from when I've been in certain establishments. So
like the bit that spins the wheel round, they'd make that power it?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I was a kind of prisoner if I seen something like that, I'd be fascinated for 2 minutes and I'd be like, you guys crack on.
How important are tattoos in terms of I think in American prisons, there's a lot of value put on having gang tattoos, and that associates you with certain groups of people. Is it the same in the UK or is it different?
Nah, things what I've experienced in the establishments I've been in Britain, again, you've got some very creative, some really old school prisoners. For them, it is an art and it is a craft and it is something they're really passionate about. But then you got some, like the younger generation, they're passionate about it, but it's just, they kind of, I don't know if I can swear or not. For me, it's kind of, they're taking the piss. They'll just put like a happy face on the mate or something just no kind of practice. So you're getting people with loads of botched up kind of tattoos and stuff like that.
So just a bit of an update really. I did have my visit yesterday. I will be posting it. The pink top that I was wearing, I did get told to change. Obviously it was a bit of a crop.
I think why she probably was told to remove the pink top. It looks like it's easy to exchange things or hide or either passing or receiving contraband.
Did you ever have relationships with people that were outside the prison while you were inside?
No, yeah and not. To an extent, I'd have different girls come up, and you can't really have a, intimate kind of relationship. So for me, it would just be as childish as flipping a kiss and a hug.
Is there rules on like how much people can touch each other when those visits happen?
Yeah, it kind of depends what establishment you're in. Your basic, standard, enhanced prisoners. I think it's changed now though, and I think now you go in as basic and then you have to work you up to standard, then enhanced, so you get privileges and certain things. So it's kind of different, varies for different prisoners. I used to hate my family and friends coming up because I know they'd get searched. So I felt like I was putting them through something what they didn't really deserve to go through. I knew how they felt because I had to go through the same thing for the first 2 years. After I came out of Strangeways and went to Dovegate, nearly every visit I had, I would get a strip search after the visit, and it used to drive me crazy. It's based on, again, how they kind of present themselves too. So if there's kind of suspicion of you kind of bringing contraband in, you're going to be more frequently strip searched. I'm around a bunch of strangers, but when you actually see your family, that's them are the people that really care about you. It can kind of carry you through days. My family used to say they felt uplifted after they'd see me, and I was exactly the same as after I'd seen them. So good family, good friends, that can get you through a week.
So that's basically like a convoy outside of Strangeways. Does that look to you like it's a kind of serious transportation, or is that just how they do all prisoners?
That looks like it's high risk. So somebody what poses a potential threat. It can be a very violent prisoner, or it could be a sex offender. Anyone what poses a risk or a danger to society. So it's very rare that you'd even see or hear that. Yeah, very rare, very rare. In Strangeways, you've got your Cat A's, that's sectioned off from the rest of the jail. On the other side of the Cat A's, it's classed as the VP section, so the vulnerable people section. That's where you get most of the rapists or paedophiles or etc. or people maybe on there out of fear or no fear for their life or something like that.
When you watch TV shows, if there are sort of sex offenders come in, what it always portrays is that they're at like risk of being attacked. Like as soon as they get in, if people understand that that's what they've done, especially if children involved, they will be attacked. Is that accurate?
Yeah. But they have their own wings, totally separate from the rest of the prisoners. It's highly unlikely that they will be attacked unless they actually say I want to be in normal general population and they're allowed to be by certain circumstances or anything like that. That's the only time you actually, because some people will say, may have multiple charges. So there might be somebody what's gone in for a serious crime in terms of violence, but also may be in for a rape as well. But they may go on a normal general population, normal wing, keep the rape under kind of things, under the radar, but then it'll come to light that in fact, you're actually in for rape as well, and then 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they're gonna get attacked. I remember being on C wing, on the lifers wing, and what used to happen is if somebody got found out and the staff got wind of it beforehand, they'll come and lock the whole prison down, escort the person off for their safety.
Do you know what this is?
I'm laughing because, memories. That's somebody getting the contraband in the jail, whether it be weed or Class A drugs or something like that. So I like quiet. I just like to, which is oddly enough, after 10, prison actually does get kind of, depending on what environment you're in, actually can just finger down. But when that's happening, when the drones are coming, you know what it is. You don't really speak on it. It's like, just none of my business.
Is it common?
Yeah. Depending on the situation, I'd say that happens every day. Some things you don't really hear under the radar. Sometimes it becomes a bit like that. That to me just sounds on top. So when it is on top like that and it is fingered in, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna shut the whole wing down. Some of the jails have got netting, but the people are gonna come with the drones, a lot of them will set fire to some of the nets, so then the drones can actually come through.
That's a video of obviously some inmates having a party in a cell, but there's a prison warden in there. Have you ever heard of anything like that before?
It happens in some HMPs. I'd say mostly private jails, private sector jails, even though they're mostly becoming private sector now. Me personally, I don't want to drink no alcohol in jail. I don't want to kind of like escape or anything like that, because you're only going to wake up again with the harsh reality of the bars and the door, and then you're going to be on a low. The staff what tended to get involved in that type of stuff, I'd stay away from them myself personally. I kind of swerved them.
If you could give one message to like any young people who are kind of watching those TikToks and seeing the glorified messages from them, like what would you want to say to them?
The things that they see and what are being portrayed, it's an illusion. I've been in that environment, and no respect to the people what do it. 9 times out of 10, them are the people that really struggle with prison. So they portray a certain thing like they are enjoying it. It is a party, it's like a youth club or just a place where you come and all your mates are there, and them are the people that are afraid to go and collect the food on their own. They're afraid to go to the library on their own. They're afraid to go to education or the gym. And unfortunately, them are the people that are gonna keep being on that repetitive cycle of going to prison, coming home, going back in for a year or two, back out home, repetitive cycle, because they haven't fully matured, they haven't fully grown, they haven't fully looked at, gone within themselves. I feel this is why there's a lot of problems in the community now, because of the false representations what are being put outside. That's not how prison is.